We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
Are you knowing what you are wanting? That's a good thing. Being clear about what you want is so helpful. Being clear about what you want helps you to know what you're doing vibrationally. In other words, if you're clear about what you want and for some reason you are observing something that opposes it, or remembering something or believing something that is in contradiction to your desire, if your desire is focused and sharp and clear within you, then your emotional guidance system will let you know the offness of your vibrational mix. So thinking about what you want is so helpful because it helps you figure out, if you are aware of your guidance system and if you know what your emotions mean, you can feel your level of personal self-destructive opposition to your own desires. And that's so helpful because it is only your own personal opposition to your own desires that ever holds anything up or slows it down or keeps you from realizing it fully. Did you get that? In other words, no one else can affect you. Oh well, your attention to them and your reaction to them, and therefore your vibrational response to them, which is included in your vibrational mix, certainly that does affect you, but you have so much more control over your vibrational mix than you know. And being clear about what you want is really an important first step in the stronger activation of your emotional guidance system. If someone called you on the phone and said, hello, you don't know me, I'm just calling you to tell you that I will never call you again, you would not have a strong emotional reaction to that. You'd say, okay, goodbye. But if someone you care about called you and delivered that news to you, you would have a strong emotional response to that, because your desire about your relationship with that person is being challenged by what you believe to be something that's happening in the moment. The condition of the moment and your response to it has activated a vibration within you that's in your way. Well, it seems perfectly logical that under those conditions and a lot of conditions that you would feel negative emotion, and you certainly would be justified in proclaiming your justification. We get it. When life comes to you, or it feels like it comes at you, it's really coming to you in response to your vibration. Law of attraction is bringing it to you. But when it comes to you, sometimes you feel like you need to be on the defensive because what's coming feels offensive to you. And so many humans get into a place of justification or rationalization, defensive stance, where you're trying to hold away from you the things that you do not want. But your attention to them, your observation of them, doesn't hold them away. It causes you to be an active vibrational partner. And when you are an active participant in some thought or response or reaction, knee-jerk reaction to something, now it's in your mix. And when it's in your mix, you are going to feel emotional response to what that mix is. And that is such a good thing. If someone says to you, you seem to be in a really terrible mood, what you want to say to them, my emotional guidance system is working really well, and I can feel that I'm really messing something up that matters to me a lot. They'll be shocked to hear you take responsibility for your mix. But unless you are, if you say, oh yeah, you know what that guy did, you know what that person did over there, that person did this thing and it made me feel this way. Well, we're not questioning that. We know that your response to life does cause emotions within you, but we want you to gain control, not of your emotions, of your focus, and therefore of your emotions. We want you to get so good at including what you want in your vibrational mix that there's hardly any airtime for what you don't want. We want you to just be unwilling to beat that drum of unwanted so quickly and responsively and reactively. We want you to be so clear about what you want and your own desires to be so active in your vibration that when other things come, they play a very minor role in your vibrational mix. And you can tell by the level of your emotion, by the degree of it, by the bigness or smallness of it. You can feel what your emotional involvement is. In other words, if you're mostly feeling really good and mostly very optimistic and mostly anticipating good things for yourself and for others, and you witness something that is other than that, you will feel it, but you will feel it in proportion. And that's really what we want to talk about here today. We want to talk about your emotional proportional mix. We want to talk about the mix between your desires and your beliefs. We want your desires to reign supreme and your beliefs to adjust to them. We don't want you to have been dragging a belief around of your inadequacy or of the injustice or unfairness of the world. We don't want you to have been dragging one of those beliefs around and using it as a hindrance to the things that you want, because those kinds of thoughts do hinder what you want. You just cannot give airtime to the things that you're pushing against. In your human experience, there's a war against drugs and a war against AIDS and a war against cancer and a war against teenage pregnancy and a war against terrorism, a war against, and every single one of them getting bigger. Because what you give your attention to, you attract to you. There is no such thing as the law of exclusion or the law of get that away from me. There is no such thing. There's only the law of attraction. So when you look at something you want to be in your life experience and you give it your attention and you say yes, you're saying yes to what you want, and you're calling to you this thing you want. But when you look at something that you do not want and you are shouting no at it, you're actually saying yes to this thing that you do not want, because there's no such thing as yes and no in a vibrational universe. There's just attention to it or not attention to it, and your attention to it is always inviting it into your experience. Oh, so much to talk about. We know that you understand a lot of that. We know that your life experience is proving it to you. There's not a shred of evidence to the contrary of any of that anywhere in this universe. Not in your life experience, not in any life experience that you witness, nowhere. The law of attraction is this powerful law that is the manager of the vibrational mix, and you are a vibrational being. Do you know that? You are vibrational first and foremost, and those vibrations turn to thoughts, and those thoughts turn to things. And yes, you live in this world where there is such wonderful manifestation, and by that we mean manifestation that you can see and hear and smell and taste and touch. But when what you see and hear and smell and taste and touch becomes the only thing you think about, and you don't give thought to the things that are still in the vibrational mix, that are still in the state of becoming, when you're not tending to your early stage vibrations that will end up being manifested, if you wait until it's manifested before you address it, oh, there's so much momentum already underway. It is much more difficult, and it would be so much easier for you to become a dreamer who dreams a dream than a realist who opposes so much that's already here. Your opposition to what's here messes up your vibration. You're dreaming of what is coming, and we have a little disagreement there, because you think that what's in the vibrational mix that you cannot yet see or hear or smell or taste or touch, a little bit like the baby in the womb, although you do have your devices that let you see it, but it's not the same, is it? The baby in the womb is not the same as the baby in the arms. It's a different experience. You know that it is. Let's not nitpick over that. But you have this vibrational womb, so to speak, where there are so many things in the gestation process. They're in the state of becoming, and if you will dream about those and plan for those and think well of those and anticipate the unfolding of the things that you want, that life has helped you know that you want, if you would give your attention to those things that are in the process of becoming, and that's where we're nitpicking. You think it's becoming, we know it's become. And you say, well, Abraham, you think it's become because you're willing to look into this vibrational reality. You even named it. You wrote 2 books about it. You call it the vortex. You want us to believe this thing we cannot see or hear or smell or taste or touch. You want us to believe it, and you want to call it present tense. And as a human, you say to us, it's hard to call something that we cannot yet see or hear or smell or taste or touch, and no one else can either, reality. It's hard for us to accept the isness of that, but you've got to. You must accept the isness of what is in motion and you must allow what's vibrationally underway to evolve and become that which you can then see and react to, if you are to be the magnificent creator that you are born to be. But if you are like so many humans who just want to see it and then catalog it, pigeonhole it, debate it, evaluate what you consider to be the appropriateness or inappropriateness of it, then you are a post-manifestational creator, and that is so hard. You wait for it to show up and then you say, oh, didn't see that coming. And we want you to say, oh, saw that coming. We want you to see it all coming. Better said, we want you to feel it coming. Better said, we want you to feel it into becoming. So we're going to talk to you about this weird stuff. We're going to talk about vibrations, and we're going to talk about your vibrational indicators, which are your emotions. We're going to talk about feelings and moods and attitudes, because it is only in understanding those things that you have any means to direct your thoughts in a purposeful way. And we know that you were born, we know this for sure about every one of you. You were born to be a deliberate creator, not a creator by default. You're born to offer your vibration deliberately so that you could have the joyful experience of witnessing the becoming of your conscious focus. You did not come to be a creator by default who just waits for things to show up and then has positive or negative reactions to them. So we are here to talk with you about anything you want to talk about. There's a lot of wonderful things about to evolve here as we are together today. We can feel the power of your desire. We can also feel the relationship between your desire and your belief, and it is our intention to help you along with that. Someone asked us recently, Abraham, how do you pick? And more important, why didn't you pick me? And we explained that there's a vibration that you're emanating, and there's a collective vibration that is speaking to what most are asking for and what most are ready for. And there are those among you who are perched on the place of being ready to articulate something that, as we dialogue together, will be meaningful to a whole lot.